Right then, another 125D video. So we've not done a lot on this yet because we had all the fuel pump problems. We've done a couple of track days in this since then, and it's very annoying now. The DPF's not happy with the temperatures and the pressures that it's seeing, even though the EGTs, see, these are post turbo, which is a bit strange. It's going through 2 turbos. They only get to about 500, 550, something like that, which is not crazy. But the differential pressure is getting up to like a bar, something like that, which is too much. When it gets past a bar, I think it's about a bar anyway, that's when it starts going to like a DPF protection map and starts pulling your power. So I don't know if we've got any footage from the last track day, but you can just see it just gets slower and slower. I went at it one of the times, I only just started booting it, and it felt like it was in limp mode. So it's it needs to come out. So this is a potential downpipe that's going to fit onto it. So the usual, like what we normally do, 316 stainless, all the bosses and everything, all machined in the UK made flexes, all that sort of stuff. But this might not fit as well, so it's probably going to be in the fab shop to get that done. So yeah, that's there. Not too difficult to get to, but I think getting the original one out is going to be a problem. So we'll see. Tyre wise, we've got a similar situation as the Mini. They're all getting a little bit down. We didn't rotate these, so the inside is like mint. I don't know if Danny can get a good enough angle there, but the inside of the tyres is absolutely mint. So we might get another track day out of these, especially if we put the suspension on, because we shouldn't be rolling about as much. But we'll see how much time we get. I think before we go for the next track day, we definitely want the DPF to be sorted. We might get the rear diff in, because we've been sorting that out for a while as well. But I think it probably wants the suspension first. But we'll see how we get on with this. We'll get the DPF done, and then we can get it on the dyno and get everything sorted. So, worst vlog in the world, because between both Dans, they can't figure out who needs a camera and who don't. But anyway, it is what it is. So, the DPF is off. Bespoke brand, so they make heaters and DPFs, it seems. If you look inside, it's not actually blocked up at all, so there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Just we're operating outside of the factory parameters, so you can only just see the downpipe there. It's just hiding away. I don't know if Danny's camera's gonna see it, but it's hiding down there anyway. You can see. So the next job for this, we'll drive it on the road and see what it's like, make sure it's all right. It might be a bit noisier, not too sure. And then the next job after that is going to be, we'll take all these tyres off, a little bit destroyed, might swap 1 or 2 of them, and put the Pilot Sports back on for the dyno, because these are not as consistent as they are. So we'll do that, and they'll report back and see what difference it makes, EGT and back pressure wise. But I'm assuming there'll be a bar less pressure in that exhaust and everything will be fine. So the DPF's sorted. We're not going to have chance before we need to use it to get it back on the dyno and see what's what. But we have road tested and it smokes a little bit too much, or it did do. We took that out now, and then we'll get it back on the dyno when we've got a chance and see. So the suspension's all sorted, as you can see, not aligned yet. Put a bit of time lapse in from that. next job, get into the fab shop and see what else we've had to do. So we messed up a little bit. We didn't have the cameras rolling when Mark were doing this, but Scott obviously banged into the rear end, so he had to go to the body shop. Which then meant we had to put this 140i style exhaust on, so twin exit. I was hoping that we could sort of orientate it in a way that we can get a couple of little silencers in if this is too noisy, which I think it probably is going to be, and I don't think we've got room to do that. But I think we might jig this up, so if anybody wants it, let us know. And basically all you do is chop into the straightest, roundest section of the standard exhaust and then just put this piece on. So that should work out pretty good. Because these BMWs are absolutely horrible to make exhaust for, because as you can see, the flat, squashed, bent, twisted. So the other thing, we'll talk about that in a second, but the other thing, we've got the cat still in place, but if it is too noisy, this is the place where we're going to either put a straight pipe, even noisier, or we can put a silencer in there and make it a little bit quieter. So we'll see what we can do. That's the next job. And then this chassis brace, we've sold quite a few of these. That's literally 20-minute, half-an-hour job. So if you're booked in for anything else with us, not a massive job for us to do that. Obviously, if you want it just doing, it's probably end up being over an hour's work by the time we got it on the ramp and checked and everything. But not a bad job. Apparently makes a decent difference. Everybody's gone mad for them. Not too sure myself, but we'll see. We've done quite a few things at once again because there's not that many track days going on, which if you look up, see the KW two-way adjustable suspension. And we've got the Eibach anti-roll bars on there, which these are not even that thick anyway, but it should make a bit of a difference. So we'll drop it down and see, not really see much really worth looking at. We'll drop it down and see what the ride height looks like. So we're not all the way across. I don't believe it will go any further than that. I think that's pretty much as it'd actually push across. But you can see we've got tons of camber, loads of poke with these wheels, or not poke, opposite of poke. Tuck is the word I'm looking for. So we've got some spacers coming, and we'll just see where we are with the camber, and then we're going to set this up probably similar to what our 330D set up at. I can't remember off the top of my head now, but it's probably like 2.5, 3 degrees camber, but probably soften it a little bit. But we do run the same tyres, and it's a little bit lighter, so we'll see. And then we'll get the tow where it needs to be. And if we can't get the tow where we want it to be, we've got some, and camber, we've got some rear adjustable arms, but whether they'll get fitted before tomorrow, I'm not too sure. It's a wet track day anyway, so we'll just get it aligned up to something like, take it as it is. So Toby's got the alignment sorted. We've ended up with 2 degrees camber on the rear, 2.5 on the front, but that's because we know it's going to be wet, so we're probably going to end up with more like 3 on the front, maybe a bit more than 2 on the rear, but I want to put the 52 tyres on a dry track day before I get that set up. And then for the toe, we've gone probably about 0.5 mil in at the front and 0.5 mil out at the rear. We're going the wrong way around. 0.5 mil in at the rear, 0.5 mil out at the front, and that should keep the back end nice and stable on turning, but make the front nice and biting as well. Because obviously if you put toe out on the rear, which is what we do on a front wheel drive, you get on power, you're just going to want to spin round, so got to keep it nice. We need to have a bit of a play if we're going crazy on this and see where the geometry takes it, but anyway. So the exhaust's all sorted. Let's go for a run and see what it sounds like. And this is the next job, deleting this thing.